I hurried right past the words. In my morning devotional reading, I read right past some words there. 2 sentences later, though, I had to go back. I'm sure it was God's Spirit hitting the brakes for me, shifting me into reverse. And so I read those words again. Here's what it said. God Himself lives within you. I had to stop and think and sit in wonder at that truth. The great God who fashioned the universe, who put everything in place, who started our world spinning and has interacted throughout history, culminating in sending His Son Jesus to live, die, and be resurrected from the dead, that God lives within me. That is amazing. But understanding that truth led me to ask myself, what difference does that make? What difference will it make today? As I communicate the hope of the gospel to others, do I do that in my own wisdom or in the wisdom of the one who lives within me? As I lead others in ministry, and as I have opportunity to encourage and strengthen the work of others who are impacting the world with God's truth, do I do so with my good ideas or with God's direction? God's word through Isaiah to His people clearly defined the Lord's role in our lives. He said, I am the Lord your God, who teaches you what is good for you and leads you along the paths you should follow. You can read that in Isaiah 48:17. Do we believe that? Do we live that? Do we follow that? Paul seems to be in awe and wonder as he writes his thoughts on God's amazing wisdom. He says, oh, how great are God's riches and wisdom and knowledge, how impossible it is for us to understand His decisions and His ways. For who can know the Lord's thoughts? Who knows enough to give Him advice? Romans 11:33 and 34. Peter Drucker was arguably the leading management thinker of the 20th century. Many believe his great insight was built upon his faith in God. Drucker is quoted as writing, "The personal will of God is a bond above them with the common ruling power which encompasses everyone, everywhere." In other words, God's wisdom should be the overarching truth that is the foundation upon which we build our leadership and our lives. And to think, this wisdom is dwelling at all times within us. God Himself lives within you. So, what is the reward for recognizing that fact? Well, Job said it well. But He knows where I am going, and when He tests me, I will come out as pure as gold, for I have stayed on God's paths. I have followed His ways and not turned aside. I've not departed from His commands, but have treasured His words more than daily food. Job 23. Listen to God's voice. Treasure His words. He is right there living within you. This ministry exists to introduce people all over the world to that God and His Son Jesus. And we're privileged to work with Christian media leaders who are partners in that work. Learn more at mediaalliance.net. And you can partner with us by liking, subscribing, and sharing this video. Thanks, and God's best.